Why do you feel so alone in a room full of people? Everyone is laughing. You are right there with them, and still you feel like you're watching through glass. And it is not that you dislike them. You do. You just cannot reach across the gap, like there is a pain between you and the warmth in the room. Here is the part that stings most. You count the people around you and think, so what is wrong with me? Why does the math not fix it? Today, we open the hood on that feeling. What loneliness actually measures, why your body treats it like danger, and why none of it means you're broken. Let me name it first, so you know I see it. You can have friends, family, a full phone, a busy chat, and inside, a quiet, flat kind of empty. You scroll past people who love you and feel nothing land. Then comes the second hit. You tell yourself you're ungrateful, spoiled, hard to please. So you start hiding it. You say I'm fine, because how do you explain feeling alone in a place that is, by every count, not alone? It sounds insane. But it is not insane. And here's the first thing that takes the weight off before we go anywhere else. Loneliness is not your brain counting people. It is your brain reading one single signal. And that signal is connection. Not how many faces are near you, not how full the room is, but whether you feel met, seen, on the same wavelength as anyone in it. That is why a crowded room can feel like the loneliest place on earth. The bodies are close. The sense of being understood is nowhere. And your inner meter only ever reads that second thing. Think of it like a fuel gauge that measures the wrong tank. You keep pouring in more people, more plans, and the needle does not move because it was never reading the head count. It was reading how connected you feel, so a full calendar with no real contact stays on empty. And one honest conversation can move it more than a packed party. And that reframes the whole thing, right? It is not that you have too few people. It is that the connection meter is sitting low, and it has good reasons we will get to. Now, I do not want you taking my word for any of this. So let me show you exactly where it comes from. Because honestly, this is the part that stopped me cold when I read it. Researchers define loneliness as perceived isolation, not objective isolation, their words. People can live solitary lives and not feel lonely, or live a rich social life and feel lonely. Read that again. The number of people is not the thing. The feeling of connection is the thing. Two people can have the same address book and feel worlds apart. And suddenly the ungrateful story falls apart. You were never failing at having people. Your inner meter was just reading low, and you blamed yourself for the reading. So here is a small thing you can do tonight, before we go deeper. Stop counting. Stop tallying friends like proof you're okay. The count was never the metric. Instead, ask one quieter question. When did I last feel actually met by someone? Not entertained, met. That answer tells you more than your contact list ever will, okay? So the feeling is real and it is measuring something real. But why does it hurt in the body? Why the tight chest, the bad sleep, the edge? Take a breath with me first, because this next part is where most people start blaming their character. I want you holding the reframe before we look at the wiring. Your brain has an old job, older than any of this. Stay with the group. For most of human history, alone did not mean lonely. Alone meant exposed, unsafe. So your brain wired a rule deep in. Drifting from the group is a threat to survival, and it still runs that rule today, in your office, your apartment, your feed. When you feel disconnected, that old system does not see a quiet evening. It reads, I am outside the tribe, and that is dangerous, so it flips into self-protection. And self-protection is not a feeling you chose. It is a setting that switched on under you. Your body is not betraying you here, it is guarding you with old rules. Here is what that setting does. It puts you on watch. Quietly, your brain starts scanning faces for rejection, for the cold shoulder, for the sign that you do not belong. And once you're watching for it, you find it everywhere. A flat reply, a slow text back, a laugh that lands a beat late. Proof. Your guarded brain says, see, that is why loneliness can feel like everyone is subtly against you. It is not paranoia, and it is not the truth. It is a guard dog reading every room as a threat. And this is not just a mood or a bad day. The threat setting reaches down into your body, into systems you do not steer on purpose at all. Let me show you two clear places it leaves marks. 1. In a study tracking people in a tight rural community, the lonelier they felt, the more their sleep broke into pieces. Not shorter sleep, more micro-wakings through the night. And here's the kicker. These people were not isolated. They lived packed together, family all around, formally, never alone. But the ones who felt disconnected slept in fragments. So if you sleep beside someone, or in a full house, and still wake up wired and raw, that is not weakness. That is the threat setting keeping one eye open at night. And look, I know how this sounds when you're in it. Like a problem with you specifically. It is not. This is wiring almost everyone runs. You are not the broken one in the room. There is a second mark, and this one is in your stress chemistry. When you feel disconnected, your body quietly runs a little hotter on the main stress hormone, especially in the first hour after you wake up. That is the heavy, braced feeling you get some mornings before a single thing has even happened yet. Your system woke up already on guard because the night before it never fully stood down. Now I have to stop here and be straight with you because there is a popular claim floating around about all of this, and our whole channel runs on me telling you the actual truth, not the catchy version. You have probably heard it, that social pain is literally physical pain, the exact same spot lighting up in your brain. It is a clean, viral line, and it is shakier than it sounds. The original study was tiny. When others tried to repeat it, that brain spot did not reliably light up. So I will not sell you a slogan that science is still arguing about. Here is the honest version. Rejection does pull on your threat and distress systems. Your brain treats it like a real alarm. But the same exact spot as a burn, that part is not settled. And I would rather hand you the shaky truth than a clean lie, because you have been fed enough clean lies about this already. The real mechanism is solid enough on its own, because here is the real, solid part. The threat setting does not just make you feel watched, it changes how fast your brain catches a hint of rejection before you even notice. In one brain activity study, lonely people picked up socially threatening cues faster than non-lonely people below conscious awareness. Small study, so I hold it loosely. But the direction is clear. So you're not imagining the sting. Your guard simply got faster and louder. It is doing overtime to pull you back to safety, which it still defines as back to the group. And that points at what loneliness is actually for. Researchers suspect it works like hunger or thirst, a built-in nudge. Hunger says, find food. Loneliness, they think, says, find your people. I want to be careful here. That hunger idea is a strong theory, not a proven fact, so hold it as a maybe. But notice what even the maybe is saying. The feeling has a job. It is not punishing you. It is pushing you. The ache is the nudge. The same way an empty stomach is not your body failing. It is your body asking for something it needs. So breathe again, because here's your second small move. When the empty hits, do not run the wrong fix. Adding more random people rarely moves the needle. Remember the wrong tank. Instead, aim for one notch of real. One message where you say the true thing, not the fine thing. One person you let actually see you. The meter reads depth, not volume. And I know reaching out is the hardest thing when the guard is up, because the guard is whispering they will reject you. That whisper is the setting talking, not the odds. And the science backs the split. Across millions of people, feeling lonely, being isolated, and living alone come out as three separate things. You can sit in any one without the others. Which means the loneliness you feel is its own real thing, not just a headcount problem in disguise. And a real thing with a known mechanism is a thing you can actually work with. So let me put the whole thing back together. That ache you feel in the crowded room is not a malfunction, and not a flaw in your character. It is a system doing exactly what it was built to do. Your connection alarm is not broken. It is working perfectly. It sounded because it sensed the one thing it watches for, the feeling of being unmet, and it called you home. The alarm is just reading a wrong signal as danger. A quiet night on your couch is not the open savanna. But the old wiring cannot tell those two apart, so it does the only thing it knows: it rings. So you are not too sensitive and you're not failing at people. The feature that feels like a flaw is the feature doing its job, a little too well for a world it was not built for. And that changes what you do with it. You do not silence the alarm by collecting more faces. You answer what it is actually asking for, one real point of contact at a time. The empty feeling is information, not a verdict on you. It is your oldest system saying, hey, you have drifted, come back towards someone. That is care, in the only language it has. If you have ever felt this exact thing, alone in a full room, tell me in the comments. Just typing it where someone reads it is its own small notch of real. I read these. And if this put a name to something you have carried quietly, you're not the only one carrying it. That is sort of the whole point. The feeling lies to you about being the only one. So next time the glass comes down in a crowded room, try this. Do not ask what is wrong with me. Ask what is my alarm reading and who could I reach for one real moment. The crowd was never the cure, and the crowd was never the failure either. The cure is the same quiet thing the alarm has wanted all along, just one connection that actually lands and stays. And you can give the alarm that slowly on your terms, not by becoming someone louder or more popular, just by letting one person pass the glass on purpose and seeing it hold. Because that is what the feeling was reaching for the whole entire time. Not more people in the room, just one real one. The alarm finally goes quiet the moment it gets the exact thing it was built to find. You're not broken, you're just wired different. I'm Milo.